Hello to you beautiful people. My name is Noa Lakshmi and I'm here to elevate humanity for a better world. Thank you so much for joining me. If you are finding my videos for the first time, welcome. And if you are returning to my videos, thank you so much for coming back. I always appreciate the support. So thank you. And if you are interested to know more about me and my work in the world, then please check out my website, noalakshmi.com. Of course, I do astrology. If you're interested in your own personal reading, soul signature reading, and also what I'm passionate about is doing deep healing, transformational work with people, with individuals. So if you are curious and would like to know more, check out my website, noalakshmi.com. Thank you so much. And yes, let's dive into this week's updates, the cosmic weather of what's happening. Coming out of new moon, very powerful new moon that we had on the 27th of January. That was Friday or into Saturday, depending on where you were or where you are in the world. Today's Tuesday, the 31st of January, the last day of the first month of 2017. I talked about it last week, and you are welcome to watch my video from last week. It was a bit of a longer report for the new moon, which to me symbolizes the new year, really, more than January 1st. This new moon was very powerful, a very powerful portal of new beginnings, lots of releasing that has been taking place in the last few weeks leading up to the new moon. And even this weekend, still experiencing almost like this final cut, because there was such an opening on this new moon, such a big portal that opened for us to move forward, to create anew, to do things differently, that whatever was still kind of lingering really was, we were able to cut it. So that was a few days ago, the new moon. And then what has been happening in the last few days that I'm going to talk about quite a bit here, because also what I have experienced in my life or experienced this weekend. So a couple of things that perhaps made this weekend, not the most uplifting or the lightest weekend of your life. Two aspects that were happening at the same time was Mars moving into a new sign. And even though Mars is in Aries, is very happy and it's an amazing energy, and that's the momentum that we are feeling, this fire energy, this momentum of moving forward and making things happen. Mars in Aries is the best energy that we can utilize for that. But it was at the last degrees of Pisces, right before the new moon, and it switched a few hours after the new moon. But you've got to remember that whenever things are shifting in the universe, and especially when it's a very dramatic shift, it takes a few days to get a handle of the new energy. And especially with Mars moving from the end of Pisces into the beginning of Aries. Pisces is the end of the zodiac, Aries is the beginning. And you can think about it as like a death portal, literally. Because if you think of Mars is our drive. It's almost like, to me, it's like a life force. Mars is the masculine energy, and it's the fire. So think about Mars at the end of Pisces is really literally like a death portal of some sort, the end of something. And I talked about it last week, right at the end of Pisces. It's not comfortable energy. Mars doesn't like it, and especially at the end, it's the birth canal. So think about a baby that is just like in that birth canal, and everything is dark, and it's like, what the heck is going on? And something is ending, right? It's like you are ending the time in the womb, and then you're about to birthed into a new world and be bursted into a new world. And that, it kind of like, if you can visualize that, that's the energy of Mars being at the end of Pisces and then whoosh, moving into the beginning of Aries. It literally is this birth. So if just like when a baby is being born, it doesn't necessarily just come out, take his first breath like, I'm stoked to be here. There's like crying and the moments of discomfort, very similar to what we experienced this weekend with Mars being at the end of Pisces, moving into Aries. It's like, woo, and we are beginning a new world, new life. taking this new breath, but there are a few moments of discomfort and chaos and like, what the heck is going on? Where am I? Getting acquainted to this new environment, which is within you. Okay, it's like it's when we are moving through process of transformation and birthing ourselves anew. It takes a few days, sometimes even a few weeks, and sometimes a few months to get oriented. Like, whoa, this is like a new identity, a new personality, something feels different within me. So that's a lot of what we experienced this weekend after this new moon, because again, it was powerful, a big portal, a big opening, huge wave of energy that is pushing us forward, and we just needed that adjustment. And at the same time of that adjustment, another really powerful transit and very significant is the planet Mercury, that is moving in full speed right now, which is part of this momentum that we are feeling with the fact that all the planets are in direct motion for another week or 6 days. Mercury meeting the planet Pluto. Pluto is transformation, it's death and rebirth, it's the alchemist, it's taking the shadows, it's the subconscious, it's the soul, it's the deepest part of your soul. That's what Pluto is. It's the unconscious, it's the subconscious part of your soul. It's not what you see as your personality and your ego. It's the deepest parts of who you are that most of us are not even aware of those parts. So that's Pluto. And again, Pluto represents transformation, death. It also represents power, because when we are able to move through the shadows and the fears and the darkness and transform all that, we become so much more empowered, and we gain so much more of our own personal power, because we tap into our true soul's essence. Not just what's on the surface, but we tap into the depth of who we are. That's power, yeah? So Mercury is the planet that is associated with our mind, with our thinking mind, with our intellect, with our left brain, logical mind, data, details, information, communication. All of that is ruled by Mercury, our perceptions. So just imagine Mercury and that energy meeting Pluto. To me, and what I experienced in the last few days, the weekend and yesterday, Monday, it's a mental shit show to some degree. We can feel almost like obsessive thinking with Pluto meeting Mercury, something to pay attention to when we just get in the loop of thinking about something over and over and over and over again, getting too obsessive about details, and just not letting life to kind of do its thing. And with this fierce fire energy of Mars in Aries, that can give fuel to some blah, 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 mental obsessiveness going on. On the flip side of that, Pluto meeting Mercury meeting Pluto, it's really an opportunity. You can observe all that, and then the opportunity to transform mental patterns, to transform the way you think, to transform the way you think about yourself, the way you talk to other people, the way you talk to yourself. All of that is up for transformation if you're willing to just take note of that, to pay attention. That's where the power comes from. Knowledge is power, but we've got to know ourselves. That's where the power comes from. So to not get caught up in the obsessiveness of the mind and the obsessive compulsive pattern and habit of the mind, but to just be able to take a step back, watch it, and not get caught up in it, and then break the pattern just by doing that. Another aspect of Pluto meeting Mercury is an opportunity to have major transformational conversations, because we are still experiencing a very profound, deep wave of healing, especially in our relations and our relationships. Venus being still at the end of Pisces there, we are being reminded of love and compassion and the spiritual love, what love really means, not what we want love to be. Like, I want something from you, therefore I'm going to love you. Or that's not love. Love is just being there for somebody and not pushing anything. So we have this opportunity to have the transformation that we can have through deep conversations, really deep conversation that gonna reveal some new information that wasn't available before. And from that information, from the revelation of that information, you have more clarity and you're able to move more forward. So pay attention and make sure that you're able to balance that if things are not fully clear right now, with the fire energy of Mars in Aries, you might feel almost too aggressive, wanting to push things or wanting to be impulsive or moving too fast. And also Venus is going to move into the sign of Aries on the 3rd of February in just a few days. So we are getting a lot of that fiery energy of Aries, which is great. And at the same time, it can cause some impulsiveness. And Venus in Aries with Mars in Aries, reacting too fast, making decisions that are not necessarily based on paying attention to all the details, but it's just too impulsive. All right, so pay attention to that. Take your time, because we want to move forward fast. It can kind of backlash, on us. So use the fuel, use this fire in a way that moves you forward, but doesn't burn you, doesn't burn your relationship, doesn't burn bridges. Again, this is with Mercury meeting Pluto, such an opportunity for a deep transformation, transforming your thoughts, your thinking, your perceptions. And sometimes that's what miracle is. It's just a change of perception, a change of attitude, and one conversation that can take you to the next step, rather than you trying to push things, be aggressive, push others maybe to do things. So coming back to Venus at the end of Pisces there, just reminding us to be patient, to be compassionate, to be loving with ourselves and others. And the biggest message, to surrender to life. And I talked about it quite a bit last week. Surrendering to life. If you can push everything, you can. That's not what it's all about. Venus and Mars still traveling very close to one another. We are being invited by the universe right now to look at our feminine, masculine energy and to find the balance. When do we act? When do we stay still? And really tuning into the timing of everything. That's a big thing that we are looking at this week. Pay attention to the timing. Don't force, don't push too hard, but know when to move forward. When it's go time, it's go time. And be still enough to feel into your own truth, into your own heart, without pushing yourself too hard. All right, that is my message for you for this week. Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate the support. So if you're finding these videos and this message beneficial for you and other people, please subscribe to my channel and also share the videos. I really appreciate the support. That helps so much, because we are here to elevate humanity together, one by one. And if you are curious, interested to know more about me and my work, go to my website, noalakshmi.com, for your own personal readings. And the big thing that I'm launching in March, it's my group program, 40 Days to Self-Mastery. If you are looking and interested in upgrading your entire life, physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, taking your life to the next level and really getting rooted in self-mastery. So again, together we can elevate humanity. Again, thank you. Appreciate your love, your support. Sending you so much love. Stay awesome, stay beautiful, and I will see you next time. Have a beautiful, beautiful week. Sat Nam.